Greetings, Sanbonani, and welcome back to yet another amazing episode of The Future. And of course, I am your host, Notando the Creative, holding it down till the mic drops. Today, we are here at Indoni Yamanzi Bar and Grill, and they're promising us a good time, good vibes, and good music. But before we get into that, let's first have a sit-down conversation with the owner, Usimpiwe, as he will be telling us ukuthi bafike kanjani to this amazing level. So please do stay tuned in. Welcome back, and if you've just joined us, you are tuned into The Future, and of course, I'm your host, Notando the Creative, holding it down, as you know, till the mic drops. I'm here sitting with the man himself, Simpiwe Hadebe, who will be giving us a gist of how has it been being umphathwa le ndawo, and number two, and of course, how they got to this level. Hello.
Hello.
Yaphila kunjani?
I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, before we start with our conversation, maybe a little motivation for our audience. Why should they stay tuned in to the show?
Look, if you have been looking for products offering difference, pioneering, groundbreaking, like Zululand as a whole, you want to stay around for this episode.
Okay, I think that's a good motivation. All right, maybe let's get into knowing you a bit more.
Okay.
Who has been the most person who has given you the most influence or has been a pioneer in your life?
In my life, I draw knowledge, if you may, or inspiration from a lot of people. But just to name a few, I'd have to highlight my parents. Definitely highlight my parents. My parents are business people. I've seen them persevere against odds. I've seen them climb mountains, which otherwise would look impossible. And from that, I draw quite a lot of strength. And then the man, the legend, Elon Musk himself, you know, the man who everybody else sees as being absolutely insane. But time and time again, he proves he's just 3 steps ahead of everybody else. So yeah, if I were to name just a few, I'd have to name those guys, definitely.
So Simpiwe, tell us, how have your parents shown you support in terms of building this business and running it?
Look, besides the example which they've set throughout Njibona, their business careers in general, you know, there's been a lot of moral support, you know, honesty, especially when times have been getting tough. But this has been no easy feat, not by any means. Vele and I grew up in a hospitality background. So although they may not be in the whole restaurant industry, but there's a lot of value they can add in terms of expertise, advice, you know, persevere and so on and so forth. Obviously, there was some financial gain as well here and there out of sticky situations. But in general, motivation, I think, has been the biggest part. Pushing me on, you know what I'm saying? And advising on me how to maneuver around certain situations. So they've been a very, very big support system.
Seems like you have a very solid support system.
Oh, no, indeed.
Okay, speaking about your support system and everything that's going on, maybe tell us about your achievements. What is your proudest moment? Maybe about this business or just yourself in general,
Our proudest moment is I'm a qualified pilot. I always wear that badge with honor. And just, I think that achievement for me in general has been the one thing that has given me confidence to feel as though I can conquer just about anything. With an undertaking this big as well, I won't lie, like that I draw a lot from that. I'm like, dude, I can fly a plane. What's this? You know what I mean? So that is one of the things that I can say I'm the most proud of. I can't really note anything per se over here because I set my standards very high and I haven't accomplished what I tend to accomplish with this business as yet. So at the moment, we just completed and we just started.
Could you say it's a good start though?
I'll say it's a good start. Cautiously, I'll say it's a good start, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe what are the lessons that you've learned so far ever since you started this business?
Everything that I thought I knew, I don't. In all honesty, look, this particular industry, when we say, I'm talking about entertainment as a whole now, it's very relative and it's relative to each demographic group and location, which is what I'm learning now. Everything as a Durban boy, Durban raised boy, I've traveled around, lived in Joburg as well, and everything else. Those are the things that I intended to bring to this business.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly learning that what's awesome to me is not necessarily about to the next person and the people of Zululand and so on and so forth. So now it's just been a pivoting move or a learning move in general where I incorporate what they like and try to bite off from what I know and try to mix it together and give them something that they will enjoy. But at the end of the day, this is not for me, this is for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so true. Maybe going forward, what is the impact that you want to have, maybe in the community of King Etwayo and Nje, or the legacy that you want to leave behind?
The legacy that I want to leave behind is Black Child, you can do it too. You know, we could have come here and put a container up, did a little carport, and called it a day. Yeah, but the intention was not that. The intention was to do something as groundbreaking as Sun City. You know, something magnificent, something to, number one, in our own neighborhoods, in rural areas, and upgrade them, gentrify them, and also give a product which is world class, not something that is substandard. Change the narrative and be part and parcel of the fact of the economic change which we all desire in this country.
I think that's a very beautiful story to tell in the future as well, and going forward as well.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our first segment. And don't forget that you are tuned into the future. Stay tuned in. We have more coming. Welcome back, and if you've just joined us, you're still tuned in to The Future, and we're here with the second segment of this amazing show. We're here in this beautiful space still, Indoni Yamanzi Bar and Grill, and right now we're going to get into the business side of things. Mhlambe Simpiwe awushele, when exactly did you start this business?
Operationally, we opened our doors about 6 weeks ago now. This is the 6th week Lukuzan operating. However, the actual inception of the project as a whole, I'd say 5 years ago. It's been a long road from land acquisition, the planning, from engineering, architecture, and so on and so forth, because we purchased this plot of land from three different individuals, but 4 pockets or parcels of land. So we've done that in gradual stages. Construction was 18 months to 2 years. So it's been quite a long road. Quite a long road, yeah.
Out of all the things that you could do, why did you decide on doing such a business?
Look, like I said, I grew up in hospitality, but it was more on the lodges, guest house, Banbani side, or the sleeping side of things. I've always had growing up in that kind of background, I've always had a dream number, which I want to take what I learned at Kaya and make it simplify it. And I mean, I'm a very outgoing, outdoorsy type of person, you know, and restaurants just made sense to me. You know, I like entertaining people. I like seeing people happy. I like seeing people, you know, smiling together and so on and so forth. So that's how Mutu ventured into this, basically. Yeah.
I think you're winning at that, because ever since I just came in here, everyone is smiling. Everyone is happy.
Job well done.
Okay, maybe tell us, what is like the core mission of this entire business?
I'd say, the core mission number one is to provide a service that incorporates everybody. This is a very student-centric place, us being so closely located to a university.
Yeah.
So you'd think, oh, that's the target market, but it's not entirely. We like to incorporate families, you know, your single moms with kids, the mom and dad who are 50 and 60, and also then the students. So our target market number one, I think, is unique in that sense, and also in terms of our offerings, it's not just a one-trick pony in the sense of just food or just entertainment or whatever. We're trying to encompass everything, and adventure as well, because we got a very big adventure offering in our establishment, but I think we'll touch on that
later on. Okay, how many employees do you have, and maybe what different services do you guys offer here?
We have a staff complement of about 20 people and growing every single day, quite literally, because the market or the response or the reaction of the market pretty much determines how many people we can hire. But we've got about 20 right now. And in terms of our offerings, we have boats. We have 3 paddle boats. We have obviously best in line food, I would like to say, drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. We have events that we occasionally host, like the event we just came out from on the 15th of December. And it's a good vibe, good chilling, immaculate views, but we still obviously have plans for the future, but at the present moment, that's exactly what we have.
Looks like it's going to be a really good year, and the year coming as well. Maybe let's get into your goals, like maybe let's say for next year, 2025, what are we looking at?
2025, I intend to shake this place up big time. There's a couple of things that I want to add to my establishment, and I don't want to mention them because I don't want to ruin the surprise. However, I want to be competing at a level that is national next year. My goal in the first, let's say, 3 months is to completely dominate Zululand. When I say dominate, I mean everybody must hear about us and know about us. I think if there's any businesses in our line, there's more than enough space, more than enough money for all of us to exist. So when I say dominate, I just mean like have everybody's attention, so to speak. So my goals though is to have at least 4 events that are as big as things like Fact Urban Rocks or whatever in this space, but they must be proudly Zululand.
Seems like the future is very bright here.
I hope.
All right, maybe tell us a bit about maybe the challenges that you guys have faced so far, because I know not everything is smooth. Sometimes you know, it's a bit shaky there and there. There's
been a lot, to be quite honest, from the technical background. I mean, from the technical side of things with constructing the building itself, to the nitty-gritties now with the licensing. You know, we're so close to the water, environmental impacts, all of those things they've been very, very challenging, and we're still undergoing and we're still learning. You know, a lot of this has been a learning curve. You know, you budget for A and you don't see B, C, D, E, and F, you know. So all of that has just been popping up. Sorry, I'm stressing, but all of that has been popping up, you know. And then again, generally the market, learning what the market wants. Because like I had said earlier, Simpiwe Hatebe has an idea, has a plan with how he's going to do things and execute things based on my personal experiences. But my personal experiences are not the experiences of Utabo or Sip or whatever the case may be. So it's just learning, what is it that actually appeals to the masses and how can we incorporate it in our establishment?
It feels like as much as you have those challenges, but I feel like You got this.
Hey, I hope. I hope. I really
You
do.
got this.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing a bit about the business. And of course, Mbugeli Naganjani, we are coming back with the future goals. We want to know what are we looking at when we look at Indoni Yamanzi in the next 10 years to come. So please do stay tuned in. Welcome back once again. If you've just joined us, lalela awukho late. Futhi usendaweni right kakhulu. You're still tuned into In the Future and we're still chilling here. Kamnandi, it's Indoni Yamanzi Bar and Grill. Right now, we're gonna get into like our future goals. We wanna know Utige, in the next years to come, what are we looking at when we're looking at Indoni Yamanzi? Maybe Simpiwe, first of all, tell us what is like the important part of your business, like the most important part of your business.
The most important part of our business for me would be the impact which we are having in the economy. This is a rural project, black owned. Everybody that works for it is black. 95% of the people that built this place were black, and it's in a black area. Look, we look to our government, which works at their own pace with their own policies in order to create economic opportunities to take us out of a previously disadvantaged position. But I think as entrepreneurs as well, if you do have the opportunity, it's very important for us to back in our communities and play our little part, small as it may be, but it's important for us to also convert or help government out to convert our current economic climate, let's put it that way. So that for me, I think would be the biggest one. Instead of going to places which are already developed and you know the suburban areas and then there's people, development is fighting for each other over there, but nobody's trying to come and chala back in our areas. So that for me is the biggest plus.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned Duguti recently opened, but compared to Indlela mhlambe niqale ngayo and now, are you happy ngendlela things are running?
The perfectionist in me says I'm never happy just by, in general. Yeah. It's a curse. But I do see progress. I won't lie. Especially, with my staff side of things, these guys have been absolute troopers. I see a lot of growing. Umuntu, when you come to an area, you can't come to an area and not employ anybody locally. The unfortunate part about that is not everybody locally is as highly skilled as you would like them to be, for instance.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I think beats umuntu motivated. In all honesty, umuntu can have 15, 16, 20 years experience, but if they don't have a particular kind of attitude or personality, then they're useless. And what I've found here is we've got some very hungry people, some very motivated people, and that for me is gold. And with that, I've been seeing it in the results, the way that they're developing. And young as we are, there's literally changes every single week, So with that, I'm very, very, very grateful, very positive about it.
All right. Speaking of like your employees and the space that you are in right now, because we know that as much as you're here, there's a community that you found here.
Yes.
So how are you giving back to the community?
I'm giving back with opportunity. I'm put it that way. Like I said just now, opportunities to come and work at Indoni Yamanzi. We do employ quite a lot of the locals.
Yeah.
We employed a lot of the locals when we were building this place. We employed a lot of the locals in terms of the supplying of the building materials for this place. Everything, this is like a community project in essence. Just this previous weekend on the 15th of December, when we ran out of parking, the community uses their own yards as parking base. Wow. Then they get remunerated for that. So it is a community project. It will continue to be a community project. And the bigger Indoni grows, the bigger the community grows.
That's like some very amazing work that you guys are doing here. Maybe tell us, what would you say makes this place unique or this business unique more than anything?
What makes us unique? Have you seen our views? No, okay. Besides the obvious, I would really say it's we have a unique location in terms of the demographic. Number one, we're very closely located to the university. and we also happen to be we're right next to a lake, Yabo Leonto. So there's a very hustling and bustling economy and nightlife vele ekhona lana, which hasn't been tapped into.
Yes.
I think it's been waiting for a product like this, especially from the nightlife perspective, in order to come and penetrate and then bring it at a level that we've kind of entered the market in, Yabo. So we're unique in the sense that we don't really need to go out far to call guys in, because we've got people at our doorsteps. And I think the masses will follow just the people at our doorstep. But we're yet to see. Next year, February is going to be when everything comes to light. Let's put it that way.
All right. Looking at Indoni Yamanzi in the next 10 years to come, what is happening here?
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve?
Indoni Yamanzi, as I said, okay, we have an adventure side. It's a beast with many faces, so they say. The one face is the adventure side. We've got the paddle boats right now. We also intend to have a zip line and hiking facilities as well. We've had a lot of requests for our weddings because of the beautiful nature of the place. So we're also going to have a wedding venue coming through. And that one is as early as next year. This time next year, we should have a fully running wedding venue. Behind the wedding venue is also going to be a guest lodge. We get a lot of clientele coming from afar, traveling, so we don't encourage people to drive tired or even under the influence, whatever the case may be. So in efforts to try to make the stay very comfortable for our patrons, we're going to be building a lodge as well. So that's what's happening in the near future. And I won't release the even bigger picture, but trust me, we're growing from strength to strength.
Right, levels. Levels. Thank you so much for sharing this information, and I'm sure that our audience at large is going to enjoy and of course pull through in their masses to come and enjoy this amazing space. And thank you so much for welcoming us into your beautiful space.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Hope to see you guys again soon.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this amazing episode. And today we learned that, listen, Black child, you can make it. Whatever ambition, whatever you dream you have, you can make it. As long as you have a strong support system, yonke into ingakwazi ukuthi yenzeke. Till next time, please do join us in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you don't miss any episodes that we post. It's Vertebra Productions. From me to you, bye.